What is up, guys? I am Don Mystic, and I'm here with Dawn Clock, which is a
Right.
gay ass name. But, yes, we are here for the Wrestling Godfatherz podcast, and I don't know, man. Just want to get right into it.
Let's get right into it.
All right, all right, here we go, sir. Let me just hold on.
Don Mystic.
Yeah. Anyway,
Clearly, you're not a clocketeer.
I am not a clocketeer. I'm a cocketeer, or a cockatoo, or you know what? Fuck it. I like cock. My own, mostly. I play with it all the time. Anyways, moving along, moving along. We're getting off. We're already getting off fucking off
That's
track.
funny.
But yeah. So first things first. Let me just get it up on the screen. Man, wrong one. Share screen. I understand. This one, like, I'm gonna get heated all the way in the beginning of this fucking podcast. All right, let's see if I can bring this up.
Mm.
So just when you thought Tony Khan can be more of a simple-minded, pussy ass motherfucker. Yes, I understand that I'm probably getting we're not getting monetized anyways, but if we ever do, this is getting demonetized minute one. But it needs to be said, he is such a pussy. Why would he fire his biggest asset?
Well, uh, because sometimes your biggest assets are too big of a pain in the too big of a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, but look at what happened. Let's look at this objectively. CM Punk got like first he got what was it suspended for the whole Jack Perry.
Jungle Boy bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing. We talked about this on the last podcast, but we're going to talk about it again because 100% that was not CM Punk's fault. It was partly on Jungle Boy, but it was mostly on Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Like Jungle Boy shot on him. He did a shoot, and when you do a shoot on a guy like fucking CM Punk, and not only is it a shoot, but it's a fucking it's basically a slap in the face. He's putting shit that when you shoot, you're trying to build like heat and everything like that, right?
Right.
But realistically, that was just a slap in the face. He was just insulting fucking CM Punk, and then when CM Punk took, and here's the thing, I I don't know, I can't just talk for everyone else, but when Don Clock and I, when we grew up with our friend group, we talked a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We Yeah,
I know.
and here's the thing. When you talk as much shit as us, you learn something pretty quickly that if you're going to talk shit, you have to be prepared for the repercussions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, Don Glock and I have talked a lot of shit, and sometimes things got a little hostile. And I think both of us can agree that we probably deserved that shit. We
Yeah.
deserved it.
Yeah.
We deserved a little bit of a maybe like a punch to the face, like whatever. Jack
Yeah.
Perry deserved that shit.
Yeah.
One
Yeah. Yeah.
hundred percent. He called out CM Punk, and he got what he deserved. And
Yeah.
then the fact that CM Punk got like suspended at first is bullshit. And then this cowardly little bitch in his probably way too expensive suit that his daddy bought for him because all his money is his daddy's money fired him for no fucking reason. Now he says, I was
Oh.
scared to death because he lunged at me. Motherfucker, if CM Punk wanted to do something to you, he would have. Let's put it like that. CM Punk, he may not have had
Yeah.
the best MMA career, but he's still trained for MMA. He could kick
Yeah.
Tony Khan's ass any day of the week.
Well, to be fair, almost everyone could beat the shit out of Tony Khan himself. He
Oh man,
is not a tough
you
man,
made me
nor is he
snort there, man. You made me
intimidating.
snort.
Yeah, so look, I see it very much the way you see it in terms of Jack Perry open his mouth and CM Punk shut it. I mean but like here's the wild part. I I think of the wrestling tales we hear growing up, especially about like the mid '90s and how everyone was. It seemed like everyone had an axe to grind against Shawn Michaels because he was a giant pain in everybody's ass, so to speak. But at the end of the day, whatever drama Sean was bringing around wasn't enough to get rid of Sean or really get rid of anybody else, so to speak. But whatever drama CM Punk's bringing around or being inadvertently part of uh, seems to be causing quite the stir. Like,
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
know,
thing.
man.
Here's the thing.
He
We
just
didn't
has
know about the shit that Sean did until like a bunch
later.
later,
Yeah.
and we didn't know about the like WWE knows how to keep shit under wraps. We
Well,
knew about this shit right away, and
yeah. Well,
that's
well,
partly why I think Tony Khan does not know what the fuck he's doing.
right. Well, I also know that, you can only, and this goes for any employer or anything for that matter, you only can get away with whatever you want to get away with as long as the people in charge are willfully negligent. So Vince probably let a lot of things slide, but there was a hard line of shit Vince wouldn't let slide. So everyone knew, okay, we could fuck around up until this point, and after this point, uh, Vince will fire anyone. Vince got rid of Hulk Hogan. Vince got rid of Stone Cold. Vince will get rid of anybody. Vince ain't scared to get rid of. There's no golden cow that Vince ain't willing to sacrifice if it comes to this a point. Tony Khan, on the other hand, um, never had a hard line. Clearly, um, never even. I mean, look, WCW, right, had their fair share of incidents too, but everyone knew, like, okay, there's kind of a hard line here, like you can only go to a certain point, and then after that, no one's got time for this shit. And my issue with the whole CM Punk firing isn't necessarily that Punk got fired, because eventually it was going to happen, because you could just feel that, all right, he's very combative with pretty much everyone except for his few friends, which I get, in terms of kind of that's how he's been his entire career. But if you're willing to pay the man who clearly can deliver, his promos are top end. He's very good in the ring. He brings money, he brings eyeballs. So if you're going to fire, like, you're clearly your biggest guy, your biggest mainstream guy, um, I would have at least hoped it would have been he would have been fired. Everyone's bringing up, oh, he was fired for cause. It's also like, yeah, or can we at least just say, hey, Tony Khan fired CM Punk because he realized he can't control him, and and I think that's the big thing here is Tony Khan can't control him. But Tony Khan also let the locker room get away with whatever the fuck they wanted for the longest time. So it was like, that's why it's so out of the blue, right? If Tony Khan would have been like from day one, been like, hey, here in AEW, this shit's cool, this shit ain't, and held everybody to that standard, then CM Punk would have came in and probably still be working there, right? But because AEW apparently lets wrestlers do whatever the fuck they want, whether it's use real glass or dive off forklifts and crack their head open on the cement, a la Matt Hardy, who I, you know, who I have a lot of respect for, but this is just a horrific bump that should have never fucking happened. It didn't build drama to the match. They're just very thankful his brains didn't splatter all over the arena floor, right? So my point is, you know, Tony Khan let his wrestlers get away with so much bullshit from the get-go that this all started over fucking Jungle Boy Perry Jack fucking wanting to use real glass. Fuck it. Let him use real glass. Put his ass through it. You know, at the end of the day, like, fuck it. You don't care about your health? Go for it. You know what I mean? Like, really? So you're going to fire Punk and not Perry? Like my big issue is either it's one rule for everybody or it's no rules for nobody. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna make an example out of Punk, you should have pulled Perry in and fired his ass too and been like, all right, both of you fucked around, now you found out, right? But instead you're just firing Punk as if he wasn't instigated by fucking Perry Man. There's my current audio level. Check the chat box. There you are. Yeah.
Dude, you need to tell me when my mic goes out.
I did. I sent you the chat box.
Oh, I meant like fucking. Just say it on the thing. No one's watching this anyway.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, where was I? Where did I cut off at?
You cut off right after you went like this.
Okay, so you don't remember the words?
Not the no, because I went into immediate trying to text you on mode.
You know we have a private. Oh, did you text me on the private stream?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I was on the stream, the regular stream. Anyways, the point is, if you, what I was trying to say is, if you're gonna like fire your main talent,
Right.
like for a mid carder basically, and let's not be like let's be honest about this. The reason they fired CM Punk was for Hangman Page, was for their higher tier like guys that would be mid tier guys in WWE. Let's be honest.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they might someday make it to the high tiers, but right now, all the top guys in AEW, with the exception of Punk, would be mid tier like guys in WWE. And Jungle Boy is a mid carder in AEW.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
to sit there and fucking fire CM Punk instead of Jungle Boy is absolutely ridiculous. And you know
Or to
what?
even let it get to that point is ridiculous.
Yes,
Like
yes.
after the first fight, with the where there's the with the elite and all that bullshit and uh what I would have worked overtime to make sure that Punk's gonna run the Saturday show, and on the Saturday show, we want everyone on the same page. We don't want any dissension. We, is Tony Khan in Gorilla or whatever AW's version of Gorilla is? Is he not watch monitor? Does he not know what Jack Perry's doing?
I
Right?
don't know.
Does
Like
he not know
Tony
that?
Khan,
You know,
to me, is a joke. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like he's not.
oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
nowhere
I think
near Vince McMahon's level. Like I don't think anyone would argue that. Like think about it. Remember when I said like we didn't even know about like Shawn Michaels shit until long after. That's because
yeah.
WWE knew how to keep this shit under wraps. They knew how to like take care of this shit behind the scenes. Tony Khan doesn't know how to do that. He's never known how to do that. And it's showing his inexperience in this kind of scenario, his lack of testicular fortitude, if you will, is showing.
Oh, completely. I mean, I think Jim Cornette said it. I said it a way that I think you and I are kind of saying it as well, which is Tony Khan is used to, he's used to playing with his wrestling toys and booking them, in his fantasy world. The only problem is when you're a kid and you own toys, your toys don't talk back. Your toys aren't, they do whatever the fuck you make them do, right? So, but in real life, running AEW, not all his toys or his wrestlers are do what the fuck he assumes that they would do, right? Like, I to me, this is it's just stupid. It's like Jack Perry got upset over not being able to use real glass in a spot, and then does a shoot on Punk, and right then gets confronted backstage for running his mouth. Which, by the way, um, fuck, Undertaker was, like if you did a shoot on Raw, right, and you ran your mouth, Undertaker might be backstage because Undertaker knows, when if you want this thing to be successful, we all have to be hitting the high gear because then we all make money, right? So, I, my point is like, who's the backstage enforcer? right? Who polices the boys, right? I know Tony Khan's the be all end all, right? We could put it, obviously like how Vince was, but who amongst the boys make sure everyone stays in line? And I don't look, CM Punk, I don't know if he got terribly out of line. Look, Jack Perry ran his mouth, and not every guy's cool with that. Not every guy is okay with other guys running them down, and they'll take, they take umbrage. They'll take it into their own hands, right? I mean, bottom line is Jack Perry ran his mouth. Punk confronted him, and then Punk gets fired because Tony Khan is basically just trying to, pacify everybody else in that company because it's a one big ego fuck where unless you're part of the cool crowd, you can't do anything or say anything, right? I mean, like how it's just stupid. And then for people to make the claim like, oh, he had a confrontation with fucking William Regal, who gives a fuck? Wait, you think every wrestler's gonna like each other or respect each fuck? No, you. I can guarantee you, there's many wrestlers, great wrestlers who put on hell of a matches together, who have, sold out arenas, who probably in real life don't like each other, right?
Oh, definitely.
In the mid
And
'90s, there was no, everyone knew Brett and Shawn didn't like each other, but they were still tearing the house down at Survivor Series, WrestleMania, right? Everybody knew in the mid '90s Undertaker and Shawn didn't like each other, but they tore the house down in the first Hell in the Cell, right? I mean, like, it didn't matter at that time whether you like a guy or not. It's can you perform in the ring, right? Can you put this match over? Can you get the crowd to be where they need to be? And frankly, I don't know what AEW is really thinking here. Like, their best show is barely third place, in the TV wars. Like, SmackDown and Raw get better ratings than Dynamite, and they're barely beating NXT.
And NXT is basically their developmental right now.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they still have what is it, OVA, but like still, like NXT has kind of become the
I think
step
they
up.
sold OVA to Al Snow, to be frank.
Oh, did they sell it to him, or I
Yeah,
thought
I
he was
think
just
they
running
did.
it? Like
I don't know the exact logistics. Maybe he's right. Maybe they sold
the
it.
point is, like even if they still have OVA, or if they don't, it's either like developmental, or it's like a step above developmental, and you're still just barely beating that with your best show. and
Exactly.
and and you were very, very polite, very gentleman-like to Tony Khan in that last statement you had, and very mature. And a less mature way of saying what you said is no balls. No balls whatsoever. He is a fucking pussy. He fired CM Punk because he gave into a large chunk of a decent chunk of the locker room that's trying to be the clique of now. They're trying to
Yeah.
be but I mean, no one's going to argue that any of them are on the level of the clique, but like, not even X-Pac. But I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, he
It's
has no balls. He's not Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon would have, if Vince McMahon was pissed about something, he would shut it down. And you can say whatever you want about Vince McMahon because he is kind of a shit human being. But at the end of the day, when he wanted something done, it got done.
Oh yeah, but the one thing I'll say is at least there was that discipline, that idea that okay, here are the global rules of the house, and if you break the global rules, then we're gonna shit can you, right? Like,
And if
if
not, you're joining the Kiss My Ass Club.
yeah, but that's why I was like, if CM Punk and Jack Perry, if this would have been like, all right, fire both of them then, all right, fuck it, get rid of both of them. They're both not doing.
I would
They're
say
both
that if
putting people
both
in
of them got
danger.
fired, I'd be a little bit less angry.
Yeah,
But
same
the
here
fact
because
that
then at
CM
least
Punk was the only one, I'm fucking furious about that. if you haven't gotten that, I'm furious by this. Like, I know I'm not screaming or anything, but that's just because
Yeah,
there's people sleeping in my house right
yeah,
now. But
yeah, but that makes total sense. I mean, like, either fire both of them or don't fire any of them, because now you've now it just looks like, oh, okay, you fire whoever you're playing favorites with, right? Because now it's not equitable, right? Because now it's like, okay, you fire CM Punk for fighting, but you don't fire Jack Perry for fighting.
yeah, all right. I think we're gonna move on because I'm just getting more and more angry right now. Not like I don't have more to say, but on a good note, if I can get this to come up yet again, because it's never easy with this software. Never easy.
Never easy being greasy.
Nope. Anyway, it should come up right about now. There we go. Yes, another CM Punk segment. We just got done with like CM Punk firing. Now, will CM Punk end up in WWE? What do you think?
No,
Why?
they don't need him. Uh, frankly,
I don't know.
WWE,
They don't need him, but like that doesn't mean they don't want him. He's a draw.
he's a draw, but I mean, CM Punk takes personal shots at Triple H all the time. Like,
Here's the thing.
be but
Okay.
and no, uh, but if okay, but here's the thing: are you when you're like, what is there for Punk to do in WWE? Like, that's where I think people are kind of, I don't know. I think they have like a revisionist history, as if like there's something left for him to do, but he has to go
There's
back.
plenty
But
of him plenty left for him to do. He could. There's so many like matches he could have that it never happened
matches and
before.
yeah, matches and feuds, but that's assuming he didn't rub everyone the wrong way on his way out.
Well, here's the thing. He did like he did like mend things with like I believe the Miz, and I think he was trying to mend things with Triple H. But here's the thing. There's three things that could like stop him from going to WWE, and the first two I don't think are as big as people like, yeah, like probably you think. Um, the first two are does CM Punk want to go, and does WWE want him to be there? And I think that CM Punk will go because CM Punk is a businessman above everything else. I think, and that he's a wrestler, but let's face it, he wants to do business. And I do think part of the heat that he gets is just part of the character he plays. Because let's not forget the pipe bomb that everyone says, oh, H hates him. The pipe bomb was too personal. That pipe bomb was scripted,
Yeah, of course it
and
was.
a lot of the stuff he's done 100% scripted.
Right.
So,
If
but I'm not saying that there wasn't heat between him and Triple H. I'm not saying there wasn't heat between him and Vince McMahon, but I do think he would come back. You know, if you could get the contract and everything set up, I think he would want to come back, and I do think that WWE would want him because again, Triple H has said it a million times. It's what's best for business. He is a draw. People will come to see him to face like guys like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, guys like that.
yeah, but
And wait. I still got more. Like you got to remember that even though there's heat with Triple H, even though there's heat with Vince McMahon, they have worked with people they've had heat with before. The Ultimate Warriors won.
yeah, yeah,
Who else? There, I mean, technically, you could say maybe like Hulk Hogan because he did leave the company, and he came back.
yeah, numerous,
Huh?
numerous times.
Yeah, and there was one other one that I'm thinking of that Bret Hart came back, and that was
Yeah,
there was a lot of bad blood there. Like people, they've worked with people they've had bad blood with before because at the end of the day, it's what's best for business. So I don't think that those two are as big of hurdles as people want to make it out to be. The last one, that's the hurdle, and is does he have a no compete clause, and will it be like null and void because he got fired for cause? Now, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
That's the one that I think might have him so he can't come back to WWE at least for a while.
Yeah, but I don't think he, like I said, I don't see a road in for him at WWE because I don't think they need him flat out. Seth Rollins hates him, and he doesn't hate CM Punk. He hates Phil Brooks, and he's very open about it. He doesn't like him, doesn't want him near
Doesn't mean he
WWE.
won't do business with him.
I don't know. I don't know because like
There's very few people like wrestlers who won't do business if there's
no,
good business to be
yeah,
done.
yeah, but is CM Punk the business WWE really needs right now? I mean,
Dude, there's a lot of people who love CM Punk.
I'm not debating it. I like CM Punk too. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I'm just saying that I mean like
If there's a lot of people who love CM Punk, then he is a draw. That
oh
I'm
he's
sorry,
a
the
draw.
end.
No,
You,
he's a
you
draw,
keep
no
saying he's a
doubt.
draw, but like, is there? And then you say is there business? Do they
No,
need him?
yeah, but do they need
They
him?
don't. No, they don't need him. I'm not gonna argue that they need any wrestler. They don't fucking need Seth Rollins. They don't fucking need Cody Rhodes. They don't fucking need
Oh, I think
Brock
they do.
Lesnar.
Oh, I think they
No,
do need
no, no,
those
no, no, no,
guys.
no. They need some of them. They don't need all of them because you only need a certain amount of talent to to run a show.
Okay.
But if you're asking should they pick him up, yeah, because he's good talent and he's fucking uh, presumably a I'm having trouble with that word. He's might be a free agent, so
Yeah, you might be a free agent, but you could also let sleeping dogs lie because
you could,
he gets hurt
but
all the time. That is one knock on him currently. He
yeah,
is old, and not like CM Punk's young. He's an older talent, but
yeah.
but I'd argue more. You're bringing him in more for his mouthpiece than you are for his
Oh yeah,
clotheslines,
definitely. I
right?
mean, you bring him in, you have him like fight some of the younger guys, do what AEW was supposed to do, and bring him in to like have him help some of the younger guys up. Because I do think that when CM Punk came into AEW, that's what he wanted. He wanted to be that guy, but it was just there were so many pompous, arrogant fucks in AEW that wanted to do ridiculous shit that I mean, they just didn't want to listen to him. I think that CM Punk in WWE, there'd be some guys who listen to him there,
Yeah,
and part of it is because you can't get away with the shit that they get away with in AEW. I mean, it's just a more professional brand. I mean, yeah, I think he could bring up a decent, maybe get like a tag team under his wings, and then bring them up or something like that, like he did with what was it, FTR or whatever what their fucking name was.
yeah. I think you're looking at it as in the eyes of what could be done, and I'm looking at it more in the eyes of is that a need, a specific need? I think
I
WWE needs to
dude.
figure out the women's tag team division. I do not think they need to figure out a spot for CM Punk.
But I think WWE is in a spot where they don't need to like cater just to need because they have so few needs at this point. They
But
yes, they need to figure out the women's tag division, but name five incredibly big points of concern for WWE. They don't have it. They have the money and they have the ability to bring him in. There's no reason not to. You keep saying they
there is
is there
reason
the
not to
no you keep saying there the need. They don't need to focus on that
I okay.
because
How much money you want to bet they're not bringing him in? I'll put money on
I,
this because I already
I'm
know they're
not
not
going to
going
put
to bring
money
him
on
in
this
because
because
you
I
know they're
don't
not
know if
bringing
it,
him in.
well I don't even know if it's possible
Even if it
because
is possible, I promise you they're not doing it.
all right.
You know, and it's not because I don't like CM Punk. It's just like you know, if he were 100% WWE homegrown and WWE, you know, homegrown, home every like that sort of so to speak, then I would very much be like, oh yeah, I can very much see what you're saying. But he's not. He made his name in the Independence and Ring of Honor, and through. Uh, he made his name before WWE. He enhanced his name at WWE, and they had a very nasty, costly exit. WWE paid him tons of money to stay away. Like that's something, right? I mean, that's just not made up out of thin air. That's literally what happened. And then he
I
went to their competitor and shit
dude,
flamed out.
competitor is a strong word,
Yeah, but no,
but
you have to AEW's not like trying like yeah, okay, they're not a competitor as in they're on the same level, but they're a competitor as in they're trying to be.
shit,
They're
I'm
attempting.
trying to be a competitor of the Joe Rogan experience. Doesn't mean I am.
That's true.
Doesn't
No, I
mean
feel you. I
we
feel you.
aren't. We get what, 5 views maybe. Don't think we're there yet.
No, I feel you. No, but I
Anyway,
like but I would like to see CM Punk I would like to see, to be honest, I think I would like to see CM Punk in a situation where he wasn't necessarily not like in AEW where he's trying to pull up or help pull up the smaller of the two companies, or in the where he has to kind of acquiesce to what the corporate needs of WWE are. Kind of like to see him, you know, and maybe not on the independent, so to speak, like running a circuit, but just like see just like CCM Punk work in a place where he could literally work and not have to worry about having to fight the backstage population, right? Like I know CM Punk isn't 100% innocent, right? Neither is Jungle Boy, but at the same time it's like, man, like we lost the potential to see maybe CM Punk put in some really good work because some goofball some goofball is trying to make his name at his expense. And then
yeah.
the owner lost his shit. Now
Dude,
we're
can
yeah.
can I give you a suggestion for WWE that I think would, because you are right that he's an older guy and he has been getting hurt a lot. What if they brought him in to be like a man, like not a manager, but like the either the Raw or the SmackDown GM?
Oh, if he would be willing to do it, I think that'd be cool, but he'd have to be willing to do it, and he'd have to be willing to eat a certain amount of you do what we say, not as we ask, right? And
Yeah.
that's one thing about CM Punk is I don't think he entirely is 100% okay with everyone telling him what to do. That's why he goes rogue so frequently. He
All
went
right.
rogue at every company he's been in. And I'm not saying that as because he's bad. No, it's just I think he's independent. There's a certain amount of fuck you energy he carries, and
He does
he,
have a pretty deep rebellious streak.
yeah,
Um,
no.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna like go to the grave with that. But
And he had the talent, or has the talent to back it up. So and I think that's what's frustrating is when he's working. It's compelling. It's great. It's good shit, man. But fuck, some of these people he works with just lose their fucking mind. Like, fuck, like Tony Khan's such a dingbat. Like, I that's stupid. I don't know. I don't know. Tony Khan's an idiot. That's all I can say
yeah,
about
yeah, the end. Tony, that's the end of this segment.
that.
Tony
Yeah,
Khan's an idiot. Anyways, let's move on because I mean I think we talked about
yeah,
CM Punk
because
for
we're
like
gonna run in
literally
circles.
40 minutes.
Yeah,
We need to move on because we
yeah.
got other shit to talk about. But yeah, next up is, if I can get to it, is this one right here. We're gonna recap Payback.
Woohoo! I think we predicted this 100%.
We did not. We missed one, I believe. Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Well, hold on. Let's go right into it. First one, we got this one, which was LA Knight defeating Miz. I don't
I
even
mean,
think we
that
need to
was
stay on this one that long.
no, that
This
was the
one was,
most obvious thing since fucking sliced watermelon.
yeah. Sliced water, whatever. Anyways, Becky Lynch defeated Trish. Yeah, like we
That
both
was a
had
fucking
this.
banger of a match.
Oh,
That
that
was
was
I
that
was
to me that might have been like the best one of the night. Um,
that match was fucking in I didn't think, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it would be as good as it was, not because of the talent, but just because oftentimes, and I hate to say this, I am I'm a fan of steel cage matches, but almost always they disappoint me. Like very few, I'm like, oh, that was a fucking good use of a cage. Most of the time, I'm like, what type of dumb shit is it? Like, you know what I mean? Because there's an over reliance on doing like maybe one humongous spot, or in the old days there was an over reliance on like trying to run away. So I don't know. I've been, for the most part of my life, let down for most cage matches. There are just a few that I'm like, that was cool. Most of them I'm like, oh, what a fucking letdown. But that shit was dope. Trish Stratus and fucking Becky Lynch. I tip of the cap. The fucking badass match. I loved it.
yeah. Like I said, we got that one right as well. Rey Mysterio defeats Austin Theory. I believe we both had Rey Mysterio in this one,
Yeah,
and I mean, again, this is not one that we needed to really go deep into. I don't think they would have taken away from Rey Mysterio this early. It was just one of those ones where just wasn't going to happen.
yeah, no,
Rhea Ripley defeated Raquel Rodriguez. I think we both had that.
yeah.
I mean, Rhea's just too popular right now. You can't take it away from her right now. Eventually, she's going to lose it, but I mean,
But
and
also,
I think we even called that Dom was going to fucking interfere at some point because
no,
of
I
course
think we
Dom.
no,
What?
I think we call that in the tag match. In the tag match,
Oh yeah, and
the
this is.
tag team match.
Oh wait. Well, whatever. Rhea Ripley won. We had Rhea
By the way,
Ripley.
Dom was instrumental in everything she did on back. Dom was instrumental.
Dude, Dom, I like that they're finally putting a lot on Dom because he's got so much heat. They need to, like, he's gonna end up becoming the top fucking heel in this fucking company, and I love every bit of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And
And
it's one of the things
wait.
where the moment he came out,
When I
everyone
say he's
knows.
gonna
Like I knew Raquel Rodriguez. Yeah,
when I say he's going to become the top heel, he's kind of
yeah,
already the top heel. But what I mean is he's going to become the top heel that's also has the physical and actual the the presence to back it up. Let's put it that way.
yeah, exactly.
You can
Like
still
when
hear me,
he
right? I'm just making
hit the
sure.
ring against the Raquel Rodriguez, I was, yeah, I was like, there's not a chance in the world that he's gonna throw a punch at her that lands. She's just gonna beat the dog shit out of him until Rhea recovers, and that's exactly what happened. She just pulled out some moves, whooped his ass for a little bit, but by that time Rhea recovered to whoop her ass. And that's the heel way to do it. Sometimes you just gotta buy some time by taking a little bit of an ass whipping. Eat a little
Yeah,
bit of humble pie while you save the day for the judgment day.
yeah. And then we also had
And
Seth
then
Rollins
what's the next match?
defeat Seth Rollins beating Shinsuke. Um, we all knew this was going to happen. Like, did anyone?
Yeah, we
I
all
mean,
knew but hold. I almost was sold though on the day of. That fucking anime was fucking tight. Like they need to do more anime. You know what I'm talking? You remember the pre-match anime?
yeah,
That was fucking dope. I like that so much. I was like, They need to do more of that. That was fucking cool. I want to say something about that match though. Good match. I thought it was fundamentally sound. I thought it had potential to be even better than what it was. I liked the way it ended. It started finally gaining some steam. I just wish there were a few little things I would do slightly different. With Shinsuke, I know he's eccentric and sort of just kind of walks to the beat of his own drum. But when he's doing those little head kick things, you could try a little harder to make it look like you're hurting the guy. It looks like you're tossing his hair around with your feet, like you're about to do some content from OnlyFans for OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Like the fuck? I was like, because the announcer's selling
Follow
it
us on
like he's
OnlyFans, by the way.
yeah, exactly. Because the announcer's selling it like he's like, oh my god, he's kicking him in the head. But I was like, he's politely brushing his hair back. He's not even there is zero force, and it's painfully obvious there's no force on these kicks. Like if you're the governor of strong style or whatever he calls himself,
The governor of strong style.
well, he that's what he called it, right? Or
If you're the public controller of strong style,
right? Then can you at least make your kick look like it hurts just a smidgen more than that? That's all. That was my only
yeah.
thing. Just make it.
Okay, I mean, ticky tacky, but like, I mean, I don't think anyone saw since Shinsuke like winning this one. I mean, to be honest, he's a like high mid card right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I didn't.
mean, and I'm not saying he wasn't a great wrestler, but he's a little bit older now, and I, I don't want to say it's like passed him by. I just don't think he's gonna get another like title run, like major title run.
Unless they build them up, like and that was the
You
thing.
would have to build him up, yeah, because
Shinsuke and
if you think,
Raquel, yeah, Shinsuke and Raquel Rodriguez, very little build up, so you knew that those titles were going to be successfully defended.
now I did hear that there might be there were some rumblings. I can't remember which YouTuber said it, but like they think that there might be like a longer feud for Shinsuke and Seth. I
Well, I
wouldn't mind
mean,
it.
based off Raw, that
Yeah,
looks like the direction they're going, which I think is cool because then maybe, in
you
fact,
can build them up.
I actually thought Damian Priest was going to run out after that match because they built that back thing so much. I was like, oh, that's how they're gonna Damian Priest is gonna exploit that to take the belt off Seth, right? But
Mhm.
I mean, obviously they didn't go that direction, but I thought I thought that made some potential. But yeah, so that match was it was good. It was the main event, but it was not the best match on the card, unfortunately,
Nah,
for the main
and
event.
I skipped one match because this is a match we got wrong. I don't believe you took Judgment Day. I think we both took Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I
We
mean, you did say that you thought that like
well,
maybe you could
yeah,
see that Judgment
yeah, I
Day,
could see it. I could see it.
but we
But
did.
I think I
But
did say I was
technically,
cheering for Judgment Day. I thought I
yeah,
said
yeah,
I was cheering for him,
something like that.
but I
But to
thought,
be
yeah,
fair, we both took Sami Zayn and Kevin
yeah,
Owens. But so that's the one we got wrong.
yeah. But
But
you know what? That match was fucking dope too.
oh yeah, that match was dope. I still
I
think that Becky
loved,
Lynch and
I
Trish
loved.
was like the highlight though.
Yeah, I
Which is weird because we always seem to like think the highlight is one of the lower, like one of the early matches. I don't know what it is.
well, they were positioned in the opening match of the card, which if you're not on last, then you want to be on first, right? Because that's the one that's supposed to get the crowd going. They had a gimmick and they tore up their gimmick, like they used it masterfully. I loved Trish Stratus setting the tone on her way to the ring. She cussed at the fan. Thought that was fresh. So, but hold on. Let me quickly, I want to talk about the tag match. So, the Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I thought that was a phenomenal match. They used their gimmick very well too. It was an old school street fight. They were in the ring, they were in the crowd, but they weren't just relying on just cheap pops. They had some comedic elements that fit the style of the match. When the Judgment Day throws Sammy and Kevin over the boards and they reemerge in penguin jerseys with hockey sticks. which is funny because they're both Canadians, so it makes total sense as to why they would be down with this. But of course, when you're in the local market, right? So they're going to rep Pittsburgh, and and they come out with hockey sticks, and then Kevin Owens wore it for the rest of the match. Sami Zayn pulled his off pretty quickly, but I honestly think it's probably because hockey sweaters tend to build up heat, so it's probably much more. It's probably for Sami Zayn getting a little too hot, so he pulled it off. But that spot came off perfect. It looked great with the blood. Wearing the Terry Funk shirt from Kevin Owens, who absolutely fucking went off. I wish his senton would have hit Dom a little more flush because it looked like he took maybe too much of that without having the table do a little bit of the catch break the fall work. I was worried for Kevin's safety, but I mean, like, what a phenomenal match, and what a cool idea that you have Finn Balor, Damian Priest, you have four top guys going at it, and then just the way that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were able to fend off Dom and then fend off Dougal McDougal. I forget his name.
JD McDonough.
JD McDonough. And then Rhea Ripley with a fucking spear through the barricade to clear out Kevin Owens. And then
Yeah, wait.
after all,
We need one cringy like statement during this. She can spear me anytime. Anyways, go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Yes, please.
We need Don Clock to say Jesus Christ at least once during
Yeah.
every podcast.
Yeah. So
You may continue.
yeah, so the ending was set up perfectly, and then everyone thought, "Oh, okay, the Judgment Day's thrown everything they could to cheat their way through this, and Sami Zayn's about, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are literally about to pull this out because Sami Zayn looked like he was ready for it, and he was already had the battle plan, and then out of nowheresville." In comes Dom with money in the bank, just bink, and then
Which I will say this: it was the saddest excuse for a Money in the Bank suitcase hit I've ever seen in my life.
no matter, got the job done, got the job done, and then
Kayfabe hits always hit a little bit harder, you know.
yeah, but once that 1, 2, 3 happened, I was like, oh, that was fucking dope. I
Yeah.
was like, I was like, that's cool. In fact, I think Judgment Day is more compelling than the Bloodline. Like Rhea Ripley said it on Raw last night. Where the most, the Bloodline has fallen. Judgment Day, is here, but Judgment Day is way more compelling than the Bloodline, mainly because the Bloodline was less of a faction and more just everyone in service of Roman, right? Everyone had to be in service of Roman. Whereas in the Judgment Day, they're a legit faction because there is no one clear leader, but I believe Rhea might be the leader. I think, I'm not sure.
Dude,
I don't know,
no, I
but
think they state that like no one's the leader. It's like they all. In fact, Dom in a segment on Raw said that,
uh,
and
yeah, but therein lies the thing, right? Like you could go so many different ways with the Judgment Day because they're so fluid in terms of it's not like whereas the Bloodline had to feed Roman, everything was in service of Roman. This is just a badass faction, and yeah, they're gonna eventually split up and whatnot. But I'm enjoying it while we have it. I think it was totally cool putting a lot of the belts on them. Um, I can the my I think you could see this coming to Balor and Priest are gonna eventually have a falling out. Could you imagine if if Priest cashes in, Senior Money in the Bank cashes in the briefcase, wins the title, and the fallout is between him and Balor going at it for the title? I can totally see that. And then I could see JD McDonough, because he's Finn Balor's homie, aligning himself with Finn. And then I could see Dom and Rhea going, with Damien or just going off on their own. You know what I mean? Like I think there's so much potential, and each of the, the I almost wish the Bloodline and the Usos, or like the Usos, the Bloodline and Judgment Day would have. They had that one moment where they had that standoff, but I wish they would have had that. I wish they would have had a Survivor Series match.
Hmm.
That would have
Yeah.
been so fucking cool.
I will say this. I do think that like Damian Priest will eventually cash in. Obviously, he has a briefcase, but like I think it would be better to have him cash in on Finn Balor. That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Well,
Like Finn maybe wins it. Maybe Finn wins it on against Seth Rollins at some point, or like something, and then he fucking he cashes it in on Finn,
oh, I could see
or
that too.
maybe something happens and Balor gets screwed out of the win, and
Right.
then Damien cashes in, and if Finn has a problem with it because he should have been helping him or something like that. But I definitely think that they're headed for a breakup. Like,
Yeah, but they're right now, and they have the best music, and their look is just fucking dope. I
all
love it.
right,
I'm big Judgment Day Mark here.
no, nothing wrong with that. Nothing
So
wrong with
yeah,
that.
those are my two best matches on the card.
Yeah, me as
Yeah,
well. I mean,
but two best matches on that card.
okay, so
Uh,
we're gonna
Tag
get through
match
this next
and
one really
Trish Stratus.
quick, but we purposely left out one major thing from Payback, and that is main
Grayson Waller.
event. Jey Uso came back. I think we both can kind of agree that this was a little bit sooner than we thought it was
What
going to
a
be.
shocker! I thought he quit.
I know. I
I
was
know, right?
totally sold.
It
But
almost
no,
seemed
I
like
think I
just
think
their
we
entertainment.
both thought he was going to come back. Obviously, no one thought he was gone for good. But like I think we both thought he was going to come back a little bit later. In fact, I think we said we thought it would be somewhere around like maybe like Royal Rumble or something like that, and they brought him back way quicker.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I
way
just wanted to
like
bring this one up
quicker than
because
I. Yeah,
it was way quicker, and then they did do the smart thing by switching him over to Raw because this will like prolong the thing so they can make that match at WrestleMania between him and Jimmy. Although now you got to figure out a way to get him back over there, or to get them to figure out a way to get them into a fight, I guess. But I'm sure WWE has figured that
yeah.
out. They didn't
I
do this
mean,
half-assed, you know. You can hear me, right?
you would hope they didn't do it. Oh, I can hear
uh,
you.
yeah. I'm just making sure because your thing is frozen
Oh,
and
I hear
we're
you.
okay. Yeah, okay. We're back on. We're back. We're live again. Anyways, so yeah, we
Man,
don't really got a lot to say about this. We just wanted to leave it till the end because it was a surprise. To us it was one of the two surprises of Payback, and I do like that they the other one would be Sammy and Kevin losing the belts, but this was a surprise. It was a happy one, and I really liked seeing fucking Grayson Waller getting a fucking face kicked in. That was really great. I like that.
yeah, I thought it was kind of stupid though that they had Cody Rhodes do it. Like, it made no sense to me, but whatever.
Whatever. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's all good. And then he stood at the aisle just staring. I'm like, I hope I made the right choice. Like, the fuck? Like, what are you, his father now?
he
Get out of
made the
here with
right
that.
choice the second Jey Uso kicked Grayson Waller's
Grayson
teeth
Waller.
in. But
Well, I like when Jey Uso was on the ring apron. He knocked over the plant, and Grayson Waller fixed it. Or no, was it
dude,
the plant or just the sign? He knocked
I don't
something
know.
over, and then Waller fixed it. He said, "Nah, bitch, in my set."
All right. So, yeah, that's all we got for this week, guys. My friend here, Don Clock, and myself, Don Mystic, will see
Do
you.
you not watch Metalocalypse?
No,
What type of repressed ass middle 20s do you have?
dude, I just don't watch it. I mean, I watched it once or twice. Oh yeah, their band name is Deathlock. Oh yeah.
Hence
Yeah,
the
it's been a long time since I watched a
well,
lot of shit.
well, well, if you ever want to listen to
Well,
something
maybe
vicious,
if
Death Album 4 dropped like 2 weeks ago.
you
It's
know,
fucking
maybe
brutal.
if someone
I love
helped me with the fucking podcast a little bit more.
it. Hey.
You walked right into that, sir. Anyways, like I said, that's all we got for you this week, guys.
Murder
We will
face
see you
for
next
life.
week. Peace out.
Mermaider.
Mermaid, whatever.
That's
I'm not
that's
even. If you say so. Peace
oh,
out,
if I
guys.
say so.
Yeah.
Clock tears out.